my goodness! Look what Toby the T-Rex found tucked away in the ferns. It's a huge speckled egg, and it's all alone. It doesn't belong in this valley. Where did it come from? Toby, the friendly T-Rex, was enjoying his morning walk in the sunny, green, prehistoric valley. He loved exploring the forest of giant swaying ferns and munching on fresh leaves. But today, he found something very unusual hidden right beside his favorite path. Toby looked closely at the big speckled white egg. He knew it didn't belong to any of his friends in this part of the valley. It must be lost. Toby gently nudged it with his snout, making sure it didn't roll away or crack open on the hard ground. Oh dear, Toby thought. This poor egg needs its mommy. It's too important to be left here all alone in the ferns. He looked around the sunny valley, trying to decide which way to start searching first, as the distant volcanoes puffed gentle white smoke. Toby made a big decision. He would find this egg's home. He carefully bent down and scooped up the huge speckled egg using both of his strong front claws. He held it very gently against his green belly, determined to keep it safe throughout the long journey. Carrying the massive egg was not easy. Toby had to take slow, careful steps so he wouldn't trip or wobble. He started walking along the winding path that led out of his familiar green valley and towards the denser, darker prehistoric jungle, where he had never been before. As Toby entered the thick jungle, the leaves were much bigger and the sun didn't shine quite as brightly. He had to squeeze past giant purple flowers and under low-hanging branches, always making sure the big speckled egg remained steady and protected in his grasp. Toby hadn't gone very far when he spotted a friend. A friendly stegosaurus named Sarah was munching on leaves near a small, bright blue stream. Sarah had bright orange plates on her back and a long tail, and she looked up with curiosity as Toby approached with the strange giant object. "Hi, Sarah," Toby called out. "Look what I found! This giant speckled egg is lost, and I'm trying to find its home. Do you know where an egg this big might belong?" Sarah stopped chewing and lumbered closer to take a look. Sarah, the stegosaurus, inspected the egg thoughtfully. "Wow, Toby, that is a giant egg," she said slowly. "I don't know who its mommy is, but maybe my friend Perry the pterodactyl does. He flies very high and sees everything in the prehistoric jungle." "Thanks, Sarah. Perry the pterodactyl is a great idea," Toby smiled. He carefully adjusted the massive speckled egg in his claws, said goodbye to Sarah, and continued following the jungle path deeper into the dense forest, feeling hopeful about his new clue. The jungle path grew narrow and twisty. Toby had to use his tail for balance while keeping his small claws steady on the precious speckled egg. The ground became muddy, and he had to step carefully over slippery green roots and large orange puddles that splashed with every heavy step. Oh dear! Just ahead, a large mossy log had fallen right across the path, completely blocking Toby's way. He couldn't go under it, and he couldn't walk around it because of the thick bushes on both sides. He had to figure out how to get the giant, delicate egg over the log without dropping it. Toby knew he had to be very smart and very gentle. He decided to carefully lift the giant speckled egg above the log, making sure it didn't wobble, and then slowly step over the big log with his large, strong legs, one careful step at a time. He did it! Toby safely placed the big egg down on the other side of the mossy log. Now, he just had to wiggle his long tail and pull his final large foot over, being sure not to kick the egg while doing so. Whew, that was close. Further along the winding path, the jungle opened up to a large, bright clearing with tall, brown rock formations that reached towards the bright blue sky. It was the perfect spot for Perry the pterodactyl to make his nest. Toby looked up, hoping to see his flying friend soaring high above the rocks. And there he was! Perry the pterodactyl was soaring gracefully high above the rocky cliffs, his large orange wings catching the sunlight as he dove and twisted. He spotted Toby standing in the clearing below and immediately started gliding down to greet him with a playful screech. Perry landed gently on a large, smooth rock near Toby. He folded his big orange wings and tilted his head. "Hey, Toby, what bringin' you to the high cliffs today?" Perry squeaked. Toby carefully showed him the massive, speckled egg, explaining his mission once again. Perry's sharp eyes went wide. "Wow, that is indeed a very large and very special egg," he chirped. "I did see a big mommy dinosaur looking distressed over near the tall great green waterfall yesterday. It might belong to her. It's further east." The great green waterfall. "Thank you so much, Perry," Toby cheered. He carefully secured the giant speckled egg in his claws, gave a friendly goodbye wave to Perry, and set off along a new rocky path, heading east as the pterodactyl had directed him towards the sound of crashing water. The rocky path was steep and challenging. Toby had to use his strong legs to climb over giant boulders and jump across small, bright green patches of grass. He held the big egg tighter with every hop, making sure his claws never squeezed too hard on the delicate speckled shell. The air began to feel cool and misty. Toby could hear a loud, rumbly sound that got louder and louder with every step he took. It sounded like thunder. He followed the noise until he suddenly saw the most amazing sight just ahead of him. It was the great green waterfall. The water was a brilliant turquoise color, and it made big white splashes when it hit the bottom. Toby stared in wonder at the beautiful waterfall, but then he remembered his mission. He needed to find the mommy dinosaur, not just look at the water. Toby carefully climbed down the rocky ledge to the edge of the rushing turquoise river. He looked left and he looked right, searching the muddy banks and the tall green ferns. Suddenly, his big eyes spotted something familiar, a nesting ground filled with large gray rocks. And standing right in the middle of the nesting ground was a very big mommy brachiosaurus. She was bright green and orange, just like the colors in Toby's alley, and she had a very long neck. She was pacing sadly and looking at an empty nest, her face filled with worry. "Excuse me, ma'am," Toby called out gently, trying not to startle her. "Did you lose a very special, giant speckled egg?" He carefully held the big egg out with both of his small front claws so the Brachiosaurus mommy could see it clearly. The Brachiosaurus mommy gasped. Her long neck swooped down instantly, and her worried face burst into a huge smile. Yes, that is my precious egg," she squealed with joy. She was so happy that her tail wagged fast, and she did a little happy dinosaur dance on the grass. Toby very gently placed the massive speckled egg into the cozy nest made of green ferns that the mommy Brachiosaurus pointed to. It fit perfectly. It was safe at last. Toby felt so happy and proud that he could help reunite the lost egg with its loving mommy. Thank you so much, Toby. You are a very brave and very kind T-Rex. The mommy Brachiosaurus nuzzled Toby's head gently with her long neck. How can I ever repay you for saving my precious egg? Toby just smiled and wagged his tail happily. Toby waved goodbye to his new friend, the Brachiosaurus mommy, and her very special egg. He started walking back along the winding riverside path towards the rocky trail, feeling wonderful about his big adventure and ready to go home and tell all his friends in the valley about his brave rescue mission. What an incredible day it was for Toby the T-Rex. He proved that even though T-Rexes are big, they can be kind, caring, and excellent problem solvers. Toby couldn't wait to see what amazing adventures he would find tomorrow in his big, sunny, prehistoric world.